Hello everyone, we are back and the installation has been done. So we can see that the package JSON has been updated with Bootstrap and React Bootstrap libraries, and those are going to be available on the node modules. So we are going to proceed on this one, and the way how we're going to be just adding the Bootstrap components is going to be from imports button from React Bootstrap and button. So we're going to copy this one as it is, and I'm going to go back to the app.js and we're going to add it here. And that would allow us to create like a button to be created. So over here, I'm going to actually, let's get rid of this one, the whole thing. And I'm going to, and actually we can take this one out as well. And what we can do is container. Container is basically like the component that we can use which is the equivalent of like the class component. I mean the class container in the Bootstrap. So what we can do is container, and we can take it from the home. And we can make button and button. And we have what we call the variant. So if I go to the components, and if I go to like the buttons, then you can see the variant, and we can copy this one in order to get, for example, for the primary, just for the sake of testing. So I can paste it here, and we can save that, and let's see what's going on. And if I refresh that, let's say there is, let's add like actually that's good enough, but you can see that the CSS for the button is not populated on this one. We have got like the button in a way, but the thing is like the like the CSS, which is we are expecting it to be like this one, is not coming along with it. And for this, we need to have like a fix in the index. What we can do is we can import the CSS from the node modules Bootstrap, and we have a dist, and we have CSS, and we have Bootstrap that means that CSS. So we can bring that one, and if we refresh that, then we can see that the component, the container has moved this thing a little bit to the right, and then of course we're going to get like the button as well, which is exactly like that of this one. So as you can see, then we can see like the button with the variant of primary, and we can change like secondary or success or anything, and the corresponding button is going to be just shown on this one. Now, the main thing is we are able to pull the button just like the way we want it on our part. But in order to do that, just don't forget to add like the CSS. There might be like other ways as well, but the easiest thing that I found is just to import like the CSS, because remember, like we have imported the Bootstrap as well. Like when we were on the get started, we were getting like the React Bootstrap, and also we were pulling like the Bootstrap. So from that one, we were able to get like the CSS. And if we're using any of the accordion and whatnot, then don't forget just to import like the JS file as well, which is responsible for that one. Like on the Bootstrap, we have like the CSS file and also like the JS file. For this one, we are pulling only like the CSS file. And that one has been used on this one. And we can get rid of this one as well, because we don't have like any image for now. And the container is going to be just performed over here. The other thing is the main part we're going to be just using a Bootstrap along with the other components is the layout. And luckily the layout is pretty much the same if you are familiar with the Bootstrap on how it is doing it with the row and column kind of like format. So you have like your container, and you have like a row, and you have like a column, and it goes on like that. And pretty much like exactly the same thing, like the 12 rule, the 12 columns part is going to be just also implemented on this one. We might be using some of those as we go further, but this is in general how you're going to be just adding the layout for your, like the Bootstrap, and then just making it a part of the React application. In this particular case that I have to mention, we are using, what is it, this one? We are using like the functional component. We have a kind of like gone through it. And in the case of the React component, the only thing that we need is the return. And the same thing, all the other things are going to remain the same. So if it was with the class, then it's going to be just under the render and return. So they are going to be just pretty much the same thing. So this is how you're going to be just adding the Bootstrap into the React application. And on the next video, we're going to see how we're going to create the layout using the row and a component. And from there, we will be adding a couple of like the form elements, and we're going to see how we're going to be just adding or handling like the form element in React using a Bootstrap. All right, so I'm going to see you on the next video, and I'll see you there.